Give me 9 minutes and I'll save you 41 hours of research and $2,417 because that's what I spent to narrow it down to the 3 best air fryers that are actually worth it. I'll even let you in on some insider test data you can't get anywhere else on evenness, cooking speed, and crispiness. But first, let's kick out some losers from this list so you don't waste hundreds of dollars. The first loser is an air fryer that sells like crazy, but there are things nobody tells you about until it's too late. It's the Ninja Air Fryer Pro, and if you couldn't guess, it's an Amazon bestseller. And I get it, it's cheap, so why not give it a try? Well, you ever hear the saying, you get what you pay for? That couldn't be any more true here. This basket only has a 5-quart capacity. If you want to cook for a whole family, meal prep, or have leftovers, it won't make enough food. Don't buy a cheapo small basket air fryer from any brand. Instead, get an air fryer with a wide cooking surface or at least a 6-quart capacity. But you gotta be careful with which one you buy. And I've added links in the description to every air fryer in this video. I'll keep them updated with the best discount on the internet so you can save as much money as possible. If you use one, it helps support the channel, and no, this video isn't sponsored. Now, this next type of air fryer has double the capacity, but you should steer clear of it. This is called the Ninja Foodie Dual Zone, and it's got 2 baskets so you can cook 2 different foods at 2 different temperatures at the same time, which sounds pretty convenient, right? Well, not exactly. Like the Ninja Air Fryer Pro, this currently uses Teflon and has an all plastic interior. But that's not even the worst part. I cooked fries with 1 basket and they finished in 14 minutes. When I used both baskets, it took 19 minutes to get the same crispiness. This isn't just a dual zone problem. People in the US have the same issue with the Ninja Double Stack. Anything with 2 drawers takes longer to cook your food, and because you've got twice the amount of baskets and twice the amount of crisper plates, it takes twice as long to hand wash them, but nobody likes to tell you that either. And now, I'm about to show you the first winner. It doesn't come with the same headaches as the others, and hardly anyone knows about it. It's called the Typhur Dome 2. Unlike the previous air fryers, this one uses a ceramic nonstick, which means no toxic PFAS. But what really makes it stand out is its shape. The basket is wide and shallow instead of tall and deep. There's twice the surface area to cook on, which means less shaking and flipping, and most air fryers have only 1 burner. This has 2, one at the top and one at the bottom. So your food cooks even faster and more evenly. I fit 27 chicken wings on this thing in one go and a whole pizza. It comes in clutch when you're trying to cook large batches for meal prep or for the family. There's just one small problem. It's kind of expensive. With a coupon code, you can get it for around $350 to $400, but if you ask me, it's worth the investment for this one reason alone. When you cook greasy foods, oil splatter builds up inside the heating element. After a couple years, your air fryer can turn into a disgusting grease trap, and once grease collects in those areas, it can form harmful compounds that drip on the food. The problem is cleaning those spots feels almost impossible. Just ask this guy who spent an entire day taking apart his $200 air fryer. Most people would just toss it and buy another, which means they end up spending even more money in the long run. The Dome 2 is different. It has a self-clean mode that evaporates grease like magic. Here's a before and after I tested so you can see what I mean. While it feels pricey, it's actually cheaper than replacing your air fryer every few years, but I get that not everyone has that kind of budget, so if you're still looking for something a bit more affordable, this next air fryer is gonna blow your mind. Have you ever burnt your food because you forgot to check on it? Well, what if I told you there's an air fryer that can cook your food automatically? This is the Typhur Sync air fryer. What's special about this is that it comes with a rechargeable smart probe with automatic doneness. You see, every turkey, every chicken, every steak can be cooked perfectly if you just know the internal temperature. You just insert the probe and then the air fryer monitors the temperature in real time. You don't have to babysit the food, you don't have to cut into it every 15 minutes, and when it hits the perfect temperature, it automatically shuts off the machine so you get juicy chicken and succulent steaks. Now, the Dome 2 can do this too if you buy a separate probe, but this air fryer includes it all for under $160 with a coupon. But the Typhur Sync air fryer isn't perfect. It does take longer to cook versus the Dome 2. You don't get the self-clean feature, so you can't be as lazy when you're cleaning it. There's no second burner, so you're gonna have to flip and shake the food more, but it does have a ceramic nonstick coating and a high-end probe. These probes can cost around $100 to $150 alone, and they don't automatically shut off your machine. Buck for buck, this is one of the best air fryers you can get under $200. But here's the thing, some people want 0 nonstick coatings, like not even ceramic. This next air fryer markets itself as the solution, and it almost is, except for this one sneaky detail they don't advertise. This is the Ninja Crispy, and the container containers are made of 100% borosilicate glass, which means they're freezer safe and you don't have to worry about them shattering into a million pieces. You can cook in the glass container, you can eat from the glass container, and you can even snap on a lid and store your food in the glass containers. It's super convenient and you can take it with you to work. But I think my favorite part is that you can actually see your food while it cooks. That means you can check on the food, so it's a lot harder to burn it. The controls are as simple as it gets. There's only 4 cooking modes, but the drawback is that these are fixed and you can't edit them. If you want to change that, you have to upgrade to the Ninja Crispy Pro, which is basically the same thing but costs $280. And here's where that one sneaky detail comes in. Ceramic non-stick is most likely safe, but glass is by far the safest material to use in an air fryer. And here's the thing. The crisper plate that comes with the Ninja Crispy has a non-stick coating. The worst part is they don't tell you what it's made of. The real answer is nowhere to be found on the Ninja Crispy official webpage. And what good is an all-glass air fryer if you're still using Teflon or ceramic non-stick? It kind of defeats the purpose. You can still use this thing without the crisper plate, but the food gets less crispy. I just wish Ninja was more transparent here with us, but between being all glass so you can watch your food cook, the convenient lid system, and the smaller footprint, it definitely deserves a spot on this list. Now, I'm about to show you my personal data for these air fryers that you won't be able to find anywhere else on the internet. Why? Well, because I literally spent weeks testing air fryers for even cooking, crispiness, cooking speed, noise levels, and energy like a mad scientist. You'll get to compare them side by side so that you can see which one actually performs better, not just looks good on paper. To test evenness, I air fried white bread for 7 minutes without flipping. If both the top and the bottom brown evenly, then we know it does a good job of circulating even heat. The Typhur Dome 2 was the only one that came out brown on the top and bottom thanks to the dual burners. This means you won't need to shake or flip the food as much with the Typhur as you would with the Sync or Ninja Crispy. For crispiness, I cooked the same 4 foods across every model and used the same temperature to test. Here's what we got with wings. I think the Ninja Crispy had the best crust, but they took 45 minutes to cook. Both Typhurs had almost the same crispiness, but only took about 30 minutes to cook. Here's asparagus. These all took the same time to cook, and there wasn't much difference here. Next up, salmon. All 3 of these perfectly cooked salmon and each had a juicy center with a nice crisp on top. Here were the results for pizza. The pizza came out the best for the Dome 2 because of its design. You can make smaller pan pizzas in the other 2 air fryers, but it's a huge pain and the crust can turn into a tortilla chip. The crispy was by far the worst of the 3 here. To test cooking speed, I cooked a 130 gram meatball using 375 degrees Fahrenheit across all air fryers with a probe and timed the results. Once the internal temperature reaches 160 degrees Fahrenheit, the meatball was cooked. The Typhur Dome 2 was the fastest, then the Sync, and then the crispy. For noise, I put a decibel meter next to each air fryer on full blast. The Dome 2 was the quietest. Sometimes you can't tell it's even on. The Sync and the Crispy were about the same, slightly louder than a microwave, but the beeps on the Ninja Crispy are loud and annoying and there's no way to shut it off. To test energy costs, I plugged into an energy monitor for 20 minutes. The Crispy will save you the most money on electricity, but it does have less power and slower cook times. And here's the scorecard for all the air fryers I tested. If you're still on the fence about which air fryer to buy, I'm about to make this super easy for you. If you want the absolute best air fryer, get the Dome 2. They've thought of everything. If you're working with a tighter budget, the Typhur Sync is the way to go. If you don't want any non-stick coatings, the Ninja Crispy or the Ninja Crispy Pro without the crisper plate makes sense. Whichever one you choose, check out the links in the description below. I'll keep them updated with the best discounts on the internet, but I have no idea how long these deals will last, so please don't wait.